This rich young master is a person with excessive cleanliness. He cannot even accept a speck of dust on his shoes. The reason Kang Woo has this strange disease stems from his unhappy childhood. Because Kang Woo was too fat in high school, he was often ridiculed by his classmates. With great difficulty, he mustered up the courage to confess to the goddess in the class, So-yeon, but he was flatly rejected. Moreover, she publicly humiliated him for being fat and ugly. He smiled smugly. So he went home and locked himself in his room and refused to eat or drink anything. That very night, Kang Woo received a text message from So-yeon saying that she would come to his house to play. But he waited all day and night, but the goddess still did not come. Only then did he realize that he had been tricked. To relieve his anger, Kang Woo started eating uncontrollably. He ate everything edible in the refrigerator. The next day was the school trip. Kang Woo started having a stomachache because he ate too much. Unable to hold it in, he urinated in front of his classmates that day. Because of that, Kang Woo was nicknamed the Rotten Egg. From that day on, his strange illness became uncontrollable. Kang Woo no longer had the dignity to continue studying at school, so he transferred to another school. Although Kang Woo is now an adult and handsome, the trauma from the past caused by So-yeon made it impossible for Kang Woo to overcome his psychological trauma. That day, So-yeon only went out to buy vegetables, but when she returned, she was blocked by 3 women. Do you think So-yeon stole someone else's boyfriend? So-yeon has 3 handsome brothers in her family. Although So-yeon has an average appearance, she has 3 brothers with stunning appearances. Do you think she is a happy person? Actually, this was just the beginning of the nightmare. Just because of these 3 handsome brothers, every day there were women lining up in front of their house just to give gifts to So-yeon's brothers. Since she was little, So-yeon had always been dominated by the maturity of her 3 brothers. If it wasn't the girls asking So-yeon to deliver gifts, it was the girls who were rejected by her brothers, and then they found an excuse to come and make trouble for her. Even the male god that So-yeon liked deliberately approached her because he liked So-yeon's eldest brother. So-yeon grew up in such a pressurized environment that she had a disease that made her hate beauty. She felt that handsome men were all bad people. No one was trustworthy. Only ugly men were true love. Therefore, So-yeon's criteria for finding a boyfriend was simply to find the most ordinary person. And that day, So-yeon just went out to buy vegetables, not knowing which brother was out there sowing love for someone else's daughter. So-yeon was blocked by 3 women who mistook her for their love rival. So-yeon was too familiar with the situation, so she didn't want to explain much. But these women had no good intentions. They couldn't let So-yeon off easily. The 3 of them didn't say much, but immediately stepped forward and started pulling So-yeon's hair. So-yeon hurriedly explained that she was the younger sister of the people they liked, but they didn't believe her at all. So-yeon still wanted to try to resist until the end, but she couldn't beat the 3 of them. In the end, she was still pinned to the ground and beaten by the 3 women. By the time So-yeon returned home, the vegetables she bought were all smashed. Her whole body was also tortured like a beggar. Her good mood all morning was messed up by the 3 brothers. So-yeon screamed and called all 3 of her brothers together. Then she sat down and questioned them about who did this, but all 3 of them remained silent and covered for each other. Seeing this, So-yeon angrily picked up her phone. She wanted to take some bad pictures of her 3 brothers to post online to see if anyone would like them anymore. But no matter how So-yeon took the pictures, they were still more beautiful in person. So-yeon angrily prepared to teach her 3 brothers a lesson. The eldest and second brothers saw this and ran away. The youngest brother was pushed down on the sofa and beaten by So-yeon. After teaching younger brother, So-yeon kicked him straight, causing her 2 brothers to lie painfully on the ground. Thanks to competing with her brothers every day, So-yeon's physical condition was very good. This also helped her become a physical education teacher. But among the brothers, the most unlucky one was So-jun. Every time his brothers caused trouble, he was always the one who got beaten. Moreover, he studied at the school where So-yeon worked, so every time So-jun wanted to act cool, So-yeon would catch him. That day, he was dancing in class as usual. A small group of female fans surrounded him and shouted, but just as he was about to take off his shirt, he saw So-yeon staring at him from afar. He was so scared that he fell off the table. So-yeon also didn't spare anyone's face and went through the crowd, grabbed her younger brother's ear and dragged him away. This caused dissatisfaction from the female classmates who were watching around. It took a long time to disperse the group of students, but So-yeon discovered that Mi-kyung was secretly taking pictures in the crowd. Unexpectedly, Mi-kyung was a teacher and was also here to join in with the students. Mi-kyung found the situation a bit awkward, so she quickly found a way to leave. So-yeon dragged her younger brother to the practice field and began to physically punish him. At this moment, So-yeon's boyfriend, who had been missing for 2 months, called. So-yeon immediately changed her tone and answered her boyfriend. The man asked her to go to a restaurant. Looking at the intimate photos of the 2 of them, So-yeon was very satisfied with the boyfriend she had found. But when she raised her head, she saw a handsome guy staring at her. Moreover, he said that he was her boyfriend. So-yeon felt extremely confused. The man sat down and said that it turned out that he had been missing for the past 2 months to get plastic surgery. He felt that his parents' gen was not very good, so he spent 20 million won on plastic surgery. Looking at the handsome guy sitting in front of her, So-yeon found it a bit difficult to accept. She wondered if this was still her boyfriend. Although So-yeon hated handsome men a bit, this was the boyfriend she had chosen, so she would definitely not be mistaken. Who would have thought that the next second, her boyfriend would break up with her because he felt that she was no longer worthy of him. He had spent 20 million won on plastic surgery, so he had to find a rich woman. So-yeon went to her brother's bar to drown her sorrows. She vowed never to find a handsome boyfriend again. Then, in her drunken stupor, So-yeon wanted to find her charm from the men around her. She frantically glanced and pursed her lips at the man on the left. The disgusting sight scared the man away immediately. Although So-yeon was a little embarrassed, she was still not convinced, so she targeted the man on the right. This scene of closing her eyes and frowning made people think that she had a facial spasm. With the same move, the remaining people did not even bother to look at So-yeon. They immediately turned around and ran away from the scene. So-yeon was a little unconvinced. She scolded that men nowadays are all blind. She was so beautiful and lovely but hated. As a result, a sentence from her brother made So-yeon feel extremely helpless. It turned out that the bar her brother opened was a gay bar. So-yeon bowed her head in shame. Then, drunk, So-yeon was taken by her brother to a taxi, but halfway there, she couldn't help but get out of the car and vomit. At this moment, an unlucky person came to So-yeon's side. Unexpectedly, that person was the person she had humiliated when she was young. Kang-woo was taking a selfie here, but So-yeon carried a bucket of water and a broom and started cleaning up her vomit, but she accidentally swept his feet. When he lowered his head and saw that his shoes were soaked in dirty water, he was immediately startled and panicked. Kang-woo turned his head and saw that the big broom was about to fly into his face, so he was so scared that he collapsed to the ground. As for So-yeon, who was drunk, she had no idea what he was yelling about. Before So-yeon could understand the situation, Kang-woo took off his shoes and ran away crying in fear as if he was running home to find his mother. So-yeon stood there, stunned, looking at Kang-woo's strange expression, but she felt that he was very familiar. The next day, when So-yeon was teaching the students, she discovered that Hee-choo had not yet come to class. So So-yeon went to find the homeroom teacher to ask about the situation, but the homeroom teacher completely ignored So-yeon. He even scolded So-yeon. So-yeon could only vent her anger into the air, but she accidentally knocked over the principal's orchid pot. Luckily, So-yeon was quick to catch it, but the only orchid on it was unfortunately broken. This scene was just seen by Min-hyuk, who was passing by. Not long after, the principal hugged his orchid pot and rushed into the office to question who did it. So-yeon knew that she had caused a big problem, so she was about to take the initiative to admit her mistake. But before So-yeon could say anything, Min-hyuk, who was beside her, quickly pointed the blame at her. So-yeon could only use laughter to hide her embarrassment. Just like that, So-yeon was scolded by the principal again. At this time, So-yeon felt extremely angry. Handsome men are indeed not good things. At this time, Mi-kyung went to So-yeon to ask her about it. It turned out that Mi-kyung wanted So-yeon to attend the middle school reunion on the weekend. As for the opportunity, she only needed to pay a 10,000 won membership fee to be able to eat and drink freely. Of course, So-yeon did not want to miss it. Mi-kyung's best friend also thought the same. At this time, Kang-woo was working out at the gym, and he also received an invitation from his best friend. But Kang-woo was not interested in gathering and eating with his middle school friends. His only purpose in returning home this time was to find the girl whose face he kept drawing on paper but could not remember. In the evening, Kang-woo was taken by his parents to a family party. Kang-woo was the son of a wealthy family. Moreover, there was also a medical teacher at the school where So-yeon was teaching, Min-hyuk. Min-hyuk was also Kang-woo's cousin. However, these two people did not care about the family's career. One ran away abroad and the other became a medical teacher. This situation also gave their grandmother a headache. She was determined to find a way to keep her grandson in the country. After the party, Min-hyuk and Kang-woo sat down to talk privately. From the conversation, it could be seen that Kang-woo had a serious cleanliness problem. Min-hyuk also had a bad habit of never lying to anyone. This was also the reason why he publicly exposed So-yeon, because he had seen her ruin the homeroom teacher's flowers with his own eyes. The next day, Hyun-soo took the initiative to find Kang-woo and personally invited Kang-woo to attend the class reunion, but Kang-woo immediately refused. This made Hyun-soo a little dissatisfied, so Hyun-soo secretly called Kang-woo's middle school nickname Rotten Egg. When he heard this word, Kang-woo immediately felt that something was wrong with his stomach, so he immediately held his stomach and butt and ran to the bathroom to relieve himself. This was a strange disease that Kang-woo could not overcome. Just being stressed or hearing words related to the nickname Rotten Egg would cause him to have diarrhea uncontrollably. The next day, Kang-woo went to see a psychologist. The doctor listened to Kang-woo's story and expressed his sympathy. Kang-woo told the doctor that he often thought about a girl, but no matter how he thought, he could not remember her face. So until now, he had never been in love. After understanding the situation, the psychologist told Kang-woo that if he wanted to overcome this psychological trauma, he needed to face the source of those problems directly. Listening to the doctor, Kang-woo decided to attend the class reunion. Kang-woo's purpose was to face the friends who had mocked him. After many years of trying and going to the gym, Kang-woo had become an extremely handsome guy. When Kang-woo appeared at the barbecue restaurant where everyone gathered, everyone's eyes were immediately focused on him. Even those who had mocked Kang-woo surrounded him and started talking to him. This satisfied Kang-woo's pride. At this time, a girl in the corner of the room completely ignored him. She kept interrupting him to order food from the waiter. This made Kang Woo very uncomfortable, so he stood up and walked up to her and asked who she was. But when he saw her face clearly, he remembered that the woman he had been unable to picture was So-yeon in front of him. So-yeon was also the goddess who had rejected Kang Woo in the past. Kang Woo thought that his change over the years must have been enough to attract So-yeon, but Kang Woo did not expect that So-yeon was naturally allergic to handsome men. She completely ignored his advances. This feeling of being humiliated again hurt his self-esteem once again. The tension caused him to have a chemical reaction. Kang Woo tried to control himself and then moved step by step towards the restroom. Kang Woo found that the restroom was too dirty. He really could not accept it, so he ran out and started his journey to find a restroom on the road. He had a hard time finding a restroom, but Kang Woo lost control right outside the door. Kang Woo stood there to relieve himself. In the end, it was still Han-soo who drove to pick Kang Woo up. Kang Woo sat in the passenger seat with his lower body naked. He just looked out the window, leaving a tear of despair. After experiencing this extreme humiliation, Kang Woo couldn't sleep. In the middle of the night, Kang Woo brought So-yeon's portrait to see a psychologist. Kang Woo felt that he had a strange illness, and all the causes were because of So-yeon. Just seeing So-yeon would make Kang Woo tense. His body would also react unconsciously. The psychologist told Kang Woo that only if he defeated this girl could he overcome his illness, so Kang Woo decided to take the initiative. He must make the girl who made him like this pay. The next day, at So-yeon's brother's auto shop, a girl in torn clothes and flip-flops walked in. She was carrying a large bag on her body. She looked very sloppy. So-yeon's brother couldn't stand it at first sight, so he immediately ordered the sales staff to quickly chase her out so that she wouldn't bother other customers. The girl staggered to a luxury car. As soon as she touched the luxury car, the sales staff showed disgust and wiped it repeatedly. When she opened the car door to test drive it, the sales staff stopped her and said that she had to make an appointment before entering. The staff also told her to make an appointment next time. Before the girl could react, they pushed her out. Neither the partner nor the sales staff would have expected such a sloppy-looking girl would be the daughter of a wealthy family. Since she was chased out, she could only look up at the sky in frustration. She didn't know where to go, so she could only go to the park to sit. She opened her backpack and looked at the cash inside, then sighed. She lamented that this world now where one cannot even spend money is really boring. She sat in the park and ordered more than 10 fried chicken dishes just because she wanted to taste all the flavors. Seeing the delivery man staring at her, she was kind enough to give the fried chicken to Hee-chu to eat. As for Hee-chu, seeing her sloppy appearance, Hee-chu was afraid that she would not have enough money to pay. Then, she opened her purse. From the pile of cash inside, she casually took out 2 bills and gave them to Hee-chu. This made Hee-chu a little incredulous. Hee-chu even stuck his head out to confirm if he was seeing things. At this moment, So-yeon suddenly rushed out and grabbed Hee-chu. It turned out that Hee-chu was So-yeon's student. Because Hee-chu always skipped school without reason, So-yeon came specifically to take her back. Just when So-yeon was teaching Hee-chu, the other girl did not know what was going on, so she took her helmet and hit So-yeon straight on the head. She thought So-yeon was a human trafficker. After So-yeon fell down, she heard the delivery man next to her calling So-yeon a teacher. Only then did the girl realize that she had misunderstood. Fortunately, So-yeon's physical condition was quite good, so she quickly woke up. The other girl also apologized to So-yeon. After investigating So-yeon, she learned that the reason Hee-chu dropped out of school to work part-time was because she was homeless, so she had to earn money to support herself. After learning about Hee-chu's situation, So-yeon did not hesitate to take Hee-chu to her house. So-yeon also said that Hee-chu was her student, so she would take responsibility to the end. Meanwhile, Kang Woo on the other side was also planning to take revenge on So-yeon. First, Kang Woo asked Hyun-soo to ask So-yeon out under the guise of a classmate. Kang Woo thought that with his handsome appearance and extraordinary charisma, he would definitely be able to make So-yeon fall in love with him completely. So at the dinner table, Kang Woo pretended to deeply confess his love to So-yeon. He said that ever since his failed confession in middle school, he had never forgotten her, because Kang Woo had secretly loved her for 15 years, and because of her, he was determined to lose weight and become like this. The purpose of doing so was so that he could be worthy of her. He thought he had a sure win. He could definitely conquer So-yeon. But So-yeon was someone who was completely allergic to handsome men. In her eyes, his deep confession was nothing more than him going crazy. She thought that no one would confess to someone after 15 years of separation. So-yeon did not hesitate to respond to Kang Woo. So-yeon also said that in her eyes, Kang Woo was still the rotten egg from middle school. Hearing this word, Kang Woo once again reacted. He carefully moved step by step towards the toilet. When he came out of the toilet, he was extremely angry. He also did not know where he had offended her. If it were an ordinary woman, with his face and temperament, he would easily have won. At this time, Hyun-soo gave Kang Woo an idea. Hyun-soo guessed that the reason Kang Woo could not conquer So-yeon was because he had not shown his family's financial resources. Perhaps So-yeon did not care about appearance, so the best way was to use money to seduce So-yeon. So early the next morning, Kang Woo went to a Ford store and prepared to buy a luxury car to attract So-yeon's attention. The store Kang Woo went to was the store run by So-yeon's eldest brother. Coincidentally, So-yeon ran to her eldest brother to ask for money for living expenses. The intimate actions of the two made Kang Woo misunderstand that they were lovers, so he angrily turned around and left. Kang Woo was was very upset because So-yeon now had a boyfriend, while Kang-woo and Hyun-soo were thinking of a new solution. Hyun-soo received a call from the company. It turned out that an artist under Hyun-soo had caused trouble at a bar, so he had to drag Kang-woo, who was in the car, to the bar. As a result, the bar they went to was the bar opened by So-yeon's second brother. Kang-woo accidentally saw So-yeon asking for money from her second brother. The intimate actions of the two made Kang-woo think that So-yeon was not proper. Moreover, they were two handsome guys. While Kang-woo was stunned, Hyun-soo walked over. Seeing Kang-woo's silly expression, Hyun-soo thought he wanted to go to the bathroom. So Hyun-soo leaned close to Kang-woo's ear and told him to hold it in. So-yeon saw this scene downstairs. The intimate actions of the two people, plus this being a gay bar, made So-yeon misunderstand their relationship. And when he got home at night, Kang-woo was completely confused. All he could think about was So-yeon. Why could So-yeon have so many boyfriends but still ignore him? Could it be that in So-yeon's eyes, he was really just a fat boy who only knew how to wet his bed? That night, when So-yeon and her best friend were jogging, they met the girl who had hit So-yeon with a helmet. During the day in the park, So-yeon thought that the other girl was homeless, so So-yeon woke her up and asked if she needed help. This was the first time the girl had met such a kind person since leaving home, so she immediately gave her bag to So-yeon. But So-yeon thought this girl had a mental problem, so she took off her best friend's mask and used lipstick to write her contact number on it. So-yeon told the girl that if you had any problems, you could call me. So-yeon then took her best friend and left, and the girl looked at the phone number and was very excited. The next day, Kang-woo regained his spirits. He went to school to find his cousin Min-hyuk to ask for help, but he accidentally saw So-yeon teaching students in the yard. This immediately gave him a bold idea. This school was originally invested in by his family's company. If he became the chairman of the board of directors here, he could control So-yeon at will. So the next day, he became the chairman of the board of directors of this school. The principal took him to the office and solemnly introduced him to all the teachers as the newly appointed chairman of the board of directors. Kang-woo thought that this time he could also start his revenge plan, but So-yeon only needed to show a threatening gesture for his stomach to start reacting again. Kang-woo tried to control this feeling. When he thought about the previous time when he faced such a strong enemy, he practiced in front of the mirror. Kang-woo tried to tell himself not to be nervous. Then he took the diarrhea medicine that the doctor had prepared for him. Kang-woo wanted to temporarily control the situation, but because Kang-woo was too nervous, he dropped the diarrhea medicine into the flower pot next to him. Moreover, the pill looked exactly like the pebbles in it. So Kang-woo was completely desperate. He could only use laughter to hide his embarrassment. Then he could only hug the flower pot and leave the classroom step by step. Everyone saw his strange behavior and did not understand what was going on. After finishing, Kang-woo returned to his office. It took him a long time to find his diarrhea medicine in the flower pot, but while he was taking it, the principal walked in and saw him. Seeing the new chairman of the board eating pebbles, the principal thought Kang-woo was seriously ill. Just as he was about to step forward to stop him, a teacher pulled him out of the room. The teacher said that if the chairman of the board of directors liked to eat, then let him eat. After all, he was the boss of the school. That afternoon, to welcome the new chairman, all the teachers gathered at the barbecue restaurant to eat. What was unexpected was that Kang-woo was not only overly clean, but also had obsessive compulsive disorder. Seeing a piece of fatty pork belly, he used scissors to cut off all the fat. He also spread the knowledge that the fat on grilled meat is all fat. Eating it is not good for your health. This made everyone immediately lose the spirit of eating grilled meat. So-yeon also endured it time and time again. She thought that since the chairman invited her, she would just eat it for now. But when So-yeon had just taken her first bite, Kang-woo started to cause trouble. He thought the smell of the grilled meat was too strong, so he led everyone away from the grilled meat restaurant to a high-class Western restaurant. Everyone was very happy to see this high-class environment, but Kang-woo ordered a plate full of vegetable dishes. For a meat lover like So-yeon, this was completely unacceptable, so she exploded right at the dining table. So-yeon had a big argument with Kang-woo, but after calming down for a while, she realized that she had been too impulsive. After all, Kang-woo was her boss now, so he needed to save some face. So under the advice of her best friend, So-yeon took the initiative to find Kang-woo to apologize. So-yeon expressed that the two of them didn't need to be so tense in the future. It would be great if they could get along with each other. Kang-woo accepted So-yeon's apology. He also had no intention of making things difficult for her anymore. She thought this would be the end of the matter. But that day Kang-woo accidentally injured his finger, so he accidentally scratched his head and touched the wound. This caused him to raise his middle finger. This scene was also seen by So-yeon at the right time. In So-yeon's eyes, this action was clearly meant to provoke her. So-yeon angrily rushed forward and pushed Kang-woo against the wall. Kang-woo's heart beat wildly because of So-yeon's action. In a panic, he just ran away from the scene. At this time, because the big boss had left the scene, the principal had no choice but to pay. He thought that just eating a few vegetarian dishes wouldn't cost much. But after seeing the bill, he was extremely surprised. They had eaten a table full of vegetarian dishes and had spent 3 months of his salary. Finally, when he swiped his credit card, he was ridiculed by his subordinates for not having enough balance. At this time, Kang-woo, whose heart was racing just now, once again went to see a psychologist. Kang-woo asked the psychiatrist what this excitement was. After listening, the psychiatrist told Kang-woo that it was obvious that he had a crush on the other person. Kang-woo immediately denied it. He thought that he couldn't possibly like that kind of crazy woman. He thought about it all night, but Kang-woo didn't understand why his heart was beating so fast. The doctor was about to be exhausted by Kang-woo, so the doctor went along with Kang-woo's wishes. He said that perhaps the excitement was due to arrhythmia and stress. Kang-woo got the answer he wanted and was satisfied when he left the hospital. But the next day, on the way to school, Kang-woo accidentally met So-yeon. The moment he saw So-yeon, Kang-woo's heart started beating wildly again. Kang-woo's eyes even unconsciously stopped on her. This made him very uncomfortable. In order to prevent this illness, Kang-woo decided not to go to school to work anymore and quickly drove past So-yeon. Recently, the sports department wanted to organize an athletics project, so So-yeon really needed Kang-woo's signature. Because the president approved it, they could invest money. But So-yeon looked for Kang-woo for several days, but she found that he hadn't come to school for several days, so she had to take the initiative to call him to find him to sign first. Kang-woo thought that So-yeon was plotting something against him, so he followed her wishes. Kang-woo expressed that if So-yeon wanted to find his signature, she should come to his house. He thought she would definitely not agree, but surprisingly, she was very cheerful and agreed. This made him lose his composure. So-yeon listened to Mi-kyung's arrangement. She even took the initiative to bring a barrel of wine to get Kang-woo drunk and quickly make him sign. But when the two of them arrived at Kang-woo's house, they just happened to meet Hyun-soo coming to find him. So-yeon always misunderstood the relationship between the two. So-yeon was afraid that Hyun-soo being there would affect Kang-woo's work, so So-yeon told Mi-kyung to distract Hyun-soo first while she knocked on Kang-woo's door alone. When Kang-woo saw So-yeon bringing a barrel of wine to his house, he immediately felt that she had bad intentions. He suspected that she had some kind of plot against him, so he decided to carefully review the application. He used time to make her give up, but So-yeon was in no hurry. She sat down and told him to take a closer look. Then, because she was so bored, So-yeon picked up a bottle of wine, but when she opened the wine, she accidentally spilled it all over herself. In the eyes of normal people, it was a very normal action, but in Kang-woo's eyes, it was completely seductive. Seeing her like that, his whole body was shocked, and when So-yeon saw him widen his eyes, she thought that there was something he didn't understand. So So-yeon immediately approached Kang-woo. She decided to explain to him in detail. This close contact made him, who had never been in love, finally unable to sit still. He stood up and prepared to chase her out, but So-yeon still hadn't gotten his signature, so she absolutely wouldn't give up. Just like that, one person walked ahead and the other followed closely behind. So-yeon kept talking to Kang-woo. She thought the reason he didn't sign was because she had rejected him when they were young. So, now he took the opportunity to get revenge on her. As a result, as soon as Kang-woo turned around, So-yeon immediately fell into his arms. The physical contact between the two made Kang-woo's heart beat faster. His whole body lost all composure. Unexpectedly, his body reacted at that moment. This made So-yeon fearfully take a step back. In front of So-yeon, Kang-woo really had no dignity or respect left. Because he was so embarrassed, he carried her on his shoulder and turned around to throw her out the door. At this moment, his cousin also arrived. The first thing Kang-woo did after closing the door was to put his head in the refrigerator to calm down. But he was still so embarrassed that he hid in his sweater. Even when he slept, he felt so embarrassed that he couldn't sleep. Kang-woo probably didn't want to see So-yeon again in this life. When So-yeon got home, she was full of doubts. Clearly saw Kang-woo and Hyun-soo being intimate, so she always thought Kang-woo was gay. As a result, after coming into contact with her, he reacted. So she asked her second brother with doubts. He said that under a certain stimulation, even without feelings, there could be a reaction. So-yeon nodded, but she didn't seem to understand very well. At the same time, Kang-woo, who was lying on the bed, had a hallucination. Kang-woo seemed to see So-yeon lying on his bed. Her hand gently caressed, which made him jump out of bed in fear. In order to stop having these illusions, Kang-woo tried to bury himself in work. He wanted to stop thinking about random things, but Kang-woo unconsciously drew a portrait of So-yeon. This made Kang-woo suspect that he was crazy. Later, Kang-woo was called out to dinner by his grandmother and mother. When he arrived, he found out that this was an arranged blind date. But this time, Kang-woo did not refuse, because he thought that he had not been in contact with a woman for a long time, so he had that feeling for So-yeon. But looking at the girl elegantly eating, Kang-woo unconsciously remembered So-yeon. The image of her eating comfortably without any hesitation. Thinking of this, the corners of his mouth unconsciously curved up. Kang-woo seemed to also realize that he had truly fallen in love with So-yeon. But the more he thought about how embarrassed he was in front of the person he liked, the sadder he became. At this time, So-yeon happened to have something to do at the restaurant, so she happened to see Kang-woo on a blind date with another woman. But seeing his disappointed expression, not caring about the woman beside him, So-yeon roughly guessed that he was forced by his family to go on a blind date. This made her even more certain that Kang-woo really loved Hyun-soo. Suddenly facing such a beautiful girl, how could he not be moved? This began to make So-yeon feel a little sympathetic towards Kang-woo and Hyun-soo. She sighed that it was not easy for the two of them to be together. That evening at the bar, So-yeon once again saw the two of them being intimate. This made So-yeon even more certain that her thoughts were correct. As for Kang-woo, since he had confirmed that he liked So-yeon, the next day when he went to school, he bought a large bouquet of roses, preparing to confess to So-yeon. But the closer he got to her, the more scared scared he felt. He recalled that she had been very close to the manager of the Fours store before and was also close to the owner of the bar. In addition, he had been rejected outright when he confessed his love before. The trauma from his childhood also made Kang-woo gradually develop an inferiority complex. He was afraid that his self-esteem would be hurt again. After Seo-yeon turned to look at Kang-woo, he threw the bouquet of roses in his hand out the window. Then he quickly turned and left. Seo-yeon and Mi-kyung were both stunned by his strange actions. When Kang-woo returned home that evening, he thought carefully. He had to come up with a perfect confession plan before pursuing Seo-yeon. Otherwise, he would most likely be rejected. Hyun-soo, who was by his side, gave Kang-woo some advice. Hyun-soo said that women all liked romantic scenes in movies. As long as he took over the entire amusement park or created a romantic atmosphere, many women would be moved by it. The next day at the training ground, Kang-woo was still wondering whether he should confess to Seo-yeon or not. At this time, Seo-yeon ran over and saw his troubled expression. She thought that he was having trouble with his relationship with Hyun-soo. She encouraged him that after setting a goal, he just needed to try. The meaning of this was to imply that Kang-woo had to be steadfast in his love. Kang-woo understood Seo-yeon's words. This further strengthened his feelings for her, so he boldly took the first step, which was to ask Seo-yeon to meet him in the evening. Kang-woo followed Hyun-soo's advice, which was to indulge his daughter's interests and rent out the entire sportswear store. He said that this was a gift he prepared for everyone in the track team, and then he confessed to Seo-yeon. Kang-woo said that he didn't need other women before, but now, if he could be with her, he would truly find his true self. Hearing the phrase, "I don't need other women," and the phrase, "I'll be with you," Seo-yeon seemed to immediately understand something. Seo-yeon thought Kang-woo wanted to use her as a shield to avoid his family arranging another blind date for him. That way, he could be with Hyun-soo forever. Seo-yeon tentatively asked Kang-woo if they were together. Hyun-soo wouldn't be angry. This question also confused Kang-woo. He didn't understand what she was saying at all. After thinking for a bit, he thought she had other intentions towards Hyun-soo. The two couldn't speak clearly to each other, so the misunderstanding between the two deepened. Kang-woo failed to confess again. So, when he got home, Kang-woo beat Hyun-soo up. Hearing Kang-woo say Seo-yeon liked Hyun-soo made Hyun-soo confused, because this person had always thought he was gay. But why did she like him now? But then Seo-yeon thought about it again, and still knocked on Kang-woo's door in the middle of the night. Seo-yeon said that she agreed to his confession because she thought that the two of them being together was just an act. She was still willing to help. At this moment, Kang-woo completely did not understand Seo-yeon's train of thought. He hugged her emotionally. He thought that after pursuing her for so many years, he had finally succeeded. He was so moved that he wanted to give her his